Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to subscribe. We're going to talk about chopping the M4 in, getting rid of it and essentially swapping it for another car. And I'm thinking a Lotus, the S3, supercharged V6 thing, I think. 350 Sport or 380 Sport potentially. I finished off the Porsche. I've just got a couple of little jobs to do. Just been walking around it. I've got some little smudges right in there, and the back glass isn't quite as good as it needs to be. You just got to do it properly, and then you don't touch the inside glass again. But it was all very greasy and smeary in there, but it kind of probably looks good on camera. But anyway, it's at a standard now where I'm happy with it. I had the smart repair done, and I struggled to find where it was. I have to look on the rubber for the little nick. It was there. So there was the deep scratch through the clear coat, and here was the bit that I'd kind of thinned out so much you couldn't see it. That smart repair is really impressive. What I like about it is there isn't that horrible peel that I was expecting to be in a smart repair. So I used Axioma just on a website, and then a local company come round called Beers, and I think they've done a good job. I think they've done a really good job. But I wish I knew how to do that. Like it's such a talent, and he's blended in up here. You can see I've got to go over and finish it. So I've done the rest of the car, and I'm leaving this clear coat to harden off properly for a few more days or week or whatever, and then I'll coat that. And he's blended down here, and if in the right light, you've got light there, but you can see where the blend ends. But my goodness, I mean, it's around here somewhere. Where's the blending end? It's around here somewhere, but like, it's bloody good for, because the guy really suggested that he needs to lacquer the whole panel, and I just wanted the blend done, even though he knows more about it than me. And he's done what I wanted, and he's done a really good job, I think. I was really impressed, actually. So you can do a nice blend, and it can be very hard to spot. There's a few little scuff marks there from where it's been scotched, so I'll probably have a little bit of a go at those. But overall, I'm so happy with that. Yeah, what a skill to have in your arsenal. Even the colour match is really good. So that's good. So the car is actually looking really, really nice. And if you want to see the full video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be publishing a full interior video on what I've done on the interior and what I've done on the exterior. And we've gone through, really cleaned it properly, done everything on it. Everything's protected. The alloy wheels are coated. The alloy wheels have got long-lasting ceramic tyre dressing on them. The front windscreen's protected. The leather's protected. The paintwork's protected with ceramic coatings, and the trim's all ceramic coated. And I've even dressed out. This was all like white, and I've even dressed that out, and that's come up really nice as well, that black plastic. So yeah, really happy. It's not flawless. You go around in heavy light, and there's deeper scratches. There's a couple on the bonnet that you can't remove. It's not a case of missing them when you polish them. You can't see it, but there's some deep scratches going that way. There's a deep scratch down there. There's some prep marks there that I can't get out. But that's when you're up close and personal to the car. But just looking at the car now, I think it looks great. So, onto the subject discussion of this video. Chopping in the M4 for a Lotus 350 Sport or 380 Sport. Now, when I bought the BMW m4cs, I had this craving to get it when I saw the grey one down at my local dealership. Oh, Mrs. is going out. And it was incredible, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, that is. And then I got into kind of researching them, watched the videos on YouTube. I watched Joe Achilles' review on one and thought, God, yeah, that is nice. I watched all of the reviews on the CS, and then I was hooked after that. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get one of these. And the right one came up just as I was about to give up, and I bought it, and it happened to be the one that was in the press release, and it was in Joe's video, and like other videos on YouTube, and it had been, it was a press car, but it was in great nick. And I got it, and I got no regrets with that car. I use it to go cruising around, poodling around, and I do, the odd track day in it, which is what it's built for. And it's phenomenal. When you go past your honeymoon period with a car and you've had it for a couple of years, you suddenly become aware of all the flaws and you get used to all the things that really excited you when you first buy it. And then you get those itchy feet to move on. My itchy feet first were telling me to get a Porsche 992 GTS and like clear the fleet of everything I've got, get as much money from that lot as I could, all these cars, and then get the rest on kind of finance, you know. But it would just, and I'd spec'd it all up, and I was ready to go and test drive one, and then I just suddenly thought, I can't afford to run a 135 grand car. I can't. I mean, I was daydreaming. I could do it, but it would cripple me. Like, it would cripple me, and I'd be repaying it for ages. And I'd be so precious about the car being brand new. I'd have nothing to rag around with. I wouldn't want to track it because it'd all be immaculate. Everything would be fresh. I wouldn't want to even drive it. I'll just come in my garage, get the deck chair out and stare at it. I wanted the aero kit on it. I wanted it in crayon. I wanted a manual. I wanted those nice bucket seats. I had it all spec'd, carbon fibre roof. Go through and you spec all these things and just spend money. Got to have that, got to have that. Then you do use a little virtual app to put it in your garage. You sit there walking around it, pretending you've actually got one. And then I realised, yeah, can't. It's going to cripple me. So that's a dream for another time, I think. I got to go round Thruxton again the other day with Tab, if you're watching. Thanks for the passenger lap. It was awesome. The second time I've been round in Tab's GT3. And that car is like, it's on another level. It's so raw, it's so well set up, and it's just like so balanced and like so grippy, so aggressive, and like so high revving. And the engine noise is great. The gearbox is good, and it like blips the throttle. It's such an aggressive car that's just so much fun on the track. I think the GTS would be a good compromise for me, and I like the look of the aero kit. I wouldn't be able to get a GT. I'd have to, you know, I wouldn't be able to get a GT3. That'd be going too far, you know, financially for me. So I think I've just ruled out getting a new Porsche completely. And this car, you know, it's not a 992, but it's nice, and it gives you that Porsche thing. You've got the engine in the back, it's revvy, it's fun, it's old, but it's lovely. So, you know, I'm happy with just enjoying my 996 for a little while. Yeah, I'm using my audio. I'm hoping I don't get any audio crackle as well. I've updated the firmware. I think it's the lights up here interfering with it. But anyway, then I suddenly thought, well, why don't you get something that's roughly the same value as the M4, that's just more track focused? Because I've got the E36 and I got the Porsche, which are great for roads, and they've got just about the right amount of power to enjoy on roads. And get something that you're going to really just use for the track. And then the Lotus, I went through all the options, and really the Lotus S3, 350 Sport or 380 Sport, probably the 380 Sport actually, seemed to tick virtually all of the boxes and was a similar value. I'd have to put in a bit more money to the M4. And it'd be manual. The key thing is it'd be light. So the M4, one of its failures is still a relatively heavy car at 1550, although lots of cars are heavier than that, and it does have a lot of weight reduction on it. So 1550 isn't bad, but you know, compared to the Lotus, which is what is it, 1100, 1200? I don't know, but it's a lot lighter, a lot smaller, a lot kinder to its tyres and brakes. It doesn't have the carbon ceramics, so the pads are probably going to be easier to maintain. But then I suddenly thought, driving, when I still want to poodle around, the Exige is just going to be too hardcore, like getting in and out of it. You can't see when you're reversing, and like driving to and from the track on UK roads. It's just going to be so brutal. I was figuring that it's just, for 99% of the roads and traffic, you're not really going to be able to enjoy it. Whereas the M4 is such an easy car to live with. Like, you can just like, you get in it, it's all nice and comfortable, got the heated seats and easy to get in and out of, kind of, those stupid door straps. And you can just poodle around in it in efficient mode and comfort suspension, and it's so easy to live with, it really is. It's perfectly practical. It's even not too bad on fuel. Not great, but not too bad in efficient mode. So I thought, actually, maybe the Lotus isn't the right idea for me. And what I wanted to know with this video is if anyone's owned one of these or both of these. Have you owned a Lotus 350 or 380? Have you owned an M4 as well, or one or the other? What are your thoughts on it? Is it such a great car that all of the practical sides of it, you forgive it for that and it's a pure driving car? What's it like on a motor circuit? The exhaust thing was a bit of a problem for me. Like, I was a bit concerned that the stock exhaust on it is so loud that you can't actually do track days. And that, to me, is a real pain, to have to get the car and put a quieter exhaust on because you can't use it. So let me know what you think. I'm still toying with the idea, but the other thing is I took the M4 down to Thruxton the other day and I just had a real blast in it, and like revving it around made me realise what a phenomenal car it is. Like, and I think you can get these itchy cold feet and start wanting other cars, but it's just, you'll get that other car and you'll go through the same process, the same honeymoon period, and then once you've had it for a year you might think, no, this doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. I'd miss all the creature comforts that are in the M4 and the usability of it. So I think it's going to be that's going to be loud. So I think maybe the M4 is actually still the perfect car for what I want to use it for. And I can't think of anything really that's going to beat it, you know, for what I want. I just wish it had a really good manual gearbox, but it just doesn't come with that. So you get, the DCT is great, but you know what I mean. The manual, it's more involved on a track, and you've got to do more driving. You really do. You're really doing it. You've got to really know what gears to go around each corner in, and you've got to try and change down without getting yanked around. So you're braking into corners and stuff, and there's no doubt about it, having the manual box compared to modern dual transmission, you know, or even torque converter automatics, you lose so much time with the manual, but it adds another dimension to the driving, and I think that's an important dimension. But it's not enough for me to get rid of the M4 on, you know. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on options. Yeah, so something that's rear wheel drive, something that's preferably manual, something that's a sport car or a coupe, something that is bulletproof, something that's not hard on the tyres and brakes, something that's reasonably light, something that doesn't cost much more than the M4. What is there? What is there? There isn't. I mean, BMW, you've got the M2, the F87, is it? Or yeah, I don't know. The old M2, which is great, but I struggle to fit in those, and it's very similar to the M4, and I think I'd probably stick with the M4. Porsche, you've got the Caymans, Porsche Cayman as a track car, possibly. That might be, you know, that ticks a lot of the boxes. What else ticks the boxes? What else have you got? Can't think of much. Really can't. Yeah, there's a real gap in the market for a real nice sports coupe that's just simple rear wheel drive. Yeah. So let me know what you think about swapping cars and whether I should do it. I love BMWs, so I'd miss it, but I'm open to trying all marques, you know, and all sorts of things. Otherwise, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.